Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hopefully, you're enjoying your weekend. Enjoying a bowl of Sunset Harbor Flake. Never had it. First time. Delicious Balkan. I'm not going to do a review. I'm doing too many reviews on things lately and it gets a little stale. So, anyhow, it's Izmir Oreo. As I say, I'm not going to do a review. I go right into one. But it's a Latakia, Turkish, Parik. Fantastic. It's really good tasting. Nice smoky, subtle sweetness, almost like a deep, like a cinnamon kind of sweetness, and worth it. If you like Penzance, this is one that's Penzance-esque. It reminds me a lot of Penzance. It reminds me a lot of Quiet Nights from GLPs. So this is Cornell and Deal's Sunset Harbor Flake. Enjoying it in my Series 3 315 7L Prince shape. I'm getting more into the slightly bent straight pipes like the Prince and the Author. I've got a lot of bent pipes and they've just been frustrating me lately. So maybe I'm just getting old and going to a daggone straight pipe. But what do you do? Enjoying tea. I went overboard today and bought a lot of tea, more than I should have. And I tend to do that when I get into new hobbies with like tobacco and whiskey and tea. If you need tobacco, whiskey, or tea, or firearms, but we won't talk about that. I'm your guy. So the ATF loves me. So I have them all covered. You know, preppers talk a lot about that, really. They talk a lot about prepping and having tobacco stored, alcohol stored, and of course firearms. If there is, it becomes that end of times kind of apocalyptic scenario. When you think about it, man, all that is very, very, very tradable, as is precious metals. So silver, gold, things like that. Always recommend people stock up on that. But think about it. Whiskey, bottle of whiskey. You could trade that. You could use it for medicine. You could use it for pain. You could use it to clean, antiseptic, clean out wounds. Again, you could trade it. Man, there's so many uses. Same with tobacco. It's relaxing. It's a depressant. You could trade it. You could use it to stress relief, medicate with it like the Native Americans did. So many things you could do, man. Kind of cool. But that's not the topic of the video. So I want to do another in my 80s series now that I spent 3 minutes of an intro. And I want to talk about sick days. Growing up in the 80s, sick days. Enjoying a mug of lemon ginger green tea. So sick days in the 80s. You know, what I remember most, first of all, it was never fun to be sick. And the one thing I remember a lot, sorry about that, is it seemed like they prescribed penicillin for everything in the 80s. Seems like I was always on penicillin. You know, anytime I got sick for anything, you were getting penicillin. And it was that red penicillin, the liquid, nasty. I wouldn't even take it. I'd be sick. I'd just sit there and look at it. And my grandparents or my mom or whoever would be up with me just sitting there all night. You need to swallow this. You need to swallow this. And I'd be at the table. I don't know. I never understood why they give you the daggone liquid when the pills are just so much. The pills were nasty too. Those little football-shaped white ones that were penicillin. Ugh. They tasted nasty, but at least you could get them down. That red penicillin liquid, oh, God bless. Nowadays they compound it and make it bubblegum flavored. I had some recently when I had some work done on my mouth. They gave me some liquid antibiotics, and it was much more palatable than what that red crap was back in the 80s. But you know, it was. I don't want to say fun, but when you were home sick, the one thing I looked forward to, laying on the couch sick, all covered up and just miserable, was watching the game shows. The game shows really are what. Now, once the game shows were over in the 80's, you were screwed because then it was all soap operas was all you were getting, especially before we got cable and all we had was ABC, NBC, and CBS. You better get your game shows in the morning because after that it was soap opera. So you slept the afternoon. So you got up in the morning, watched your game shows. Some of the ones I loved, Card Sharks. I really, really, really loved Pressure Luck. That was a really good one that I enjoyed. $25,000 Pyramid was okay. I like it more now that I'm older, but it was okay. But I really liked Card Sharks, really liked Pressure Luck, and then the Granddaddy, the one that I really loved. And most of us in the 80's grew up watching this when we were sick, and that's The Price is Right. Nothing like Bob Barker on a sick day, I tell you now. So remember that so vividly, right? So anytime you were sick, you look forward to that Price is Right. And, I think it came on, my memory serves, it came on 11 Eastern. That's when it came on. So that was your last hurrah. You waited all morning to get to the Price is Right. Once you got there, you enjoyed the heck out of that hour because, again, at noon, here come the soap operas. Well, no, the news. You got the local news for a half an hour, then I think maybe the national for a half an hour. Then I think at 1 o'clock, there come the soap operas. And they were on until 4 in the afternoon. And then they got into the talk shows. And you're pretty much done at that point until, as a kid. We did have PBS as well. So I guess as a kid, you could always flip over there. And Sesame Street and junk like that came on in the afternoon. Yeah, the soap operas. Ugh. Yuck. So tell me about your 80's sick days. Growing up, 80's sick days. Man, just always remember just laying on the couch and it was just game show after game show. It's feeling like hell, but just enjoying the game shows and just enjoying not being at school for the day. Even though, you were sick. I would say 90% of the time legitimately sick for me. Maybe 95. There may have been 1 or 2 days where I may not have been 100% sick. Probably could have went to school, but interesting. So drop a line below deck. Let me know. Let me know about your sick days in the 80's or even 70's or 60's. I imagine, for the folks that are a bit older than me, it was probably very similar. Probably very similar. Probably just different game shows, but I imagine it was pretty similar. So anyhow, just want to jump on and say, hey, had that on my mind. Don't know why I was just sitting here relaxing and thinking about The Price is Right and thinking about the 80's series, and I thought I would combine that with 80's sick days. So enjoy your Saturday. I may jump on house party tonight. We'll see where the night takes us, and we'll catch you next time. Wishing you all the blessings in the world. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.